even know if I want to do this anymore. Like, this is messed up stuff that people are saying. Like, people telling me to hang myself, people just like blatantly disrespecting the fact that I'm still a human being.
Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Berlin. If you haven't been in before, welcome. I mostly do beauty guru tea, beauty guru drama, that kind of thing. Sometimes do a little bit of makeup over here as well, reviews, that kind of thing. But today we've got a video that is a drama video because, oh my god, last night, today, it is all popping off surrounding Trisha Paytas, Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, James Charles, and now bloody Jeffree Star too. So if you're not caught up on all the drama, what happened was Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio had James Charles over at their house for dinner. Dixie, who is the younger D'Amelio sister, she decided that she didn't want to eat her snails at dinner and she kind of threw them up into a napkin. And then you had Charlie D'Amelio, who was kind of complaining that she hadn't yet hit the 100 million followers on TikTok. Now, some people have taken this as the girls being entitled and ungrateful. Personally, I thought the thing with Charlie saying about her followers was a joke. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about that. Personally, I took that as a joke. Now, James Charles was saying, oh, you know, is the 95 million not enough for you? I've got the clips. I'll play those for you in a moment. But honestly, I thought that was a joke. Then the whole thing with Dixie D'Amelio, honestly, I don't blame the girl because I really wouldn't want to eat snails either. She is only, what, 15 or 16 something? So they're young girls, you know, they're pretty much kids. You can't blame them for making little mistakes about things, I think. Being so young and having all those followers that they've got, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of eyes on them. And in my eyes, James Charles is mentoring the girls, right? He's mentoring not only them, but also some of the other younger TikToker guys that he's hanging out with. But it's not as if they're all so much younger than James Charles. But we'll get into that in a moment. Here's the clips from the D'Amelio sisters.
Montana, you know, sea of the land, and it brings you good luck and good fortune to eat it.
Liar.
Just do it. You're getting. What happens when?
Classic Dixie. Do we have any dino nuggets?
Ew.
Wish I had like more time. Because imagine if I hit 100 mil a year after hitting a mil.
Was the 95 not enough for you?
Well, I was just like saying like even number.
Well, because of all the backlash from fans, Charlie D'Amelio ended up crying on her Instagram live. That was the clip from the beginning of this video where she said she was like getting death threats and all of this stuff. So Charlie had gotten really upset about it. Now, Trisha Paytas has decided to insert herself because apparently Charlie had mentioned her in the IG live. So Trisha Paytas has now gone on a massive TikTok rant at James Charles.
So Charlie called me out on her live. Now Charlie is a minor, so I'm going to try and just handle this with literal kid gloves because she is a child and I understand that. It's concerning how her parents raised her and that she's hanging out with James Charles because now she has adopted James Charles' mentality of the keep my name out of your mouth. She told me to stop talking about her and that she's been rude that I've been rude when she's literally the most followed person on social media. That's what she signed up for. And I haven't been rude. I've given constructive criticism as far as this situation goes because I really do feel for her and I do think it is her parents' poor raising that gave them the manners that they have, and she lumped me in a category of people telling her to kill herself, which I've never encouraged, nor have I encouraged hate or anything. I was always saying stuff with constructive criticism.
James Charles then clapped back at Trisha Paytas. James was actually speaking facts, I have to say. James, you slapped. You know, this was fucking good.
Charlie does not need me. I became friends with the D'Amelio family as a whole very early on because this is all very new to them and I wanted to be a friend and a mentor in any way that I possibly could. And Charlie and I, despite not being the same age, had one thing in common, which was coming to the spotlight at a very young age. This is something that Trisha has never experienced because the only reason she is in the spotlight is because she has said racist things. She said the N-word, she's done blackface, she offended the trans community, she offended the DID community, she said Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, voted for Trump, and has started a fight with about every single other creator on this platform. You are in no position to be talking about me and my career, so I highly recommend that you stop starting fights with people that are half your age, pack it up, and work on holding yourself and your best friends around you, because they and you are the problem.
Girl, James Charles smashed it. Now, you can hear James Charles mentioned you and your best friends talking about Trisha Paytas. He was clearly talking about Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, all of them, because, you know, who else does Trisha Paytas kind of hang around with, really? You know, he was talking about Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star being, you and your best friends being the problem. Now, I can see why that is, because Trisha is trying to insinuate that James Charles is somehow being predatory, hanging out with minors, which it's really not that. I mean, come on. Are we saying that's what it is? You know, Trisha Paytas is the fucking last person to tell anyone about their behaviour. Trisha Paytas, who has trolled about DID, dissociative identity disorder. So that's a mental disorder. Trisha Paytas has trolled about that. She's called herself a chicken fucking nugget. She has trolled about various things that are serious. Religions, you know. She's offended so many cultures, so many religions, so many people. And she wants to come out now and tell people how to behave? No. Trish, this is fucked. And Trisha continued her TikTok rant back at James Charles after he'd responded to her. Trisha made so many damn TikToks last night. I'm not going to include them all in this video, but this is one of them where she was responding to James Charles. Fuck me.
I had my chicken fries and I'm feeling just all right. There's a huge difference between dragging someone and giving someone constructive commentary. These kids are young. They don't really know the difference, I suppose, because they're very defensive. Charlie had a brief lapse of a bratty attitude. She got called out for it. She showed some remorse. Her clap back at me was obviously James inspired. See, now, unfortunately for you, James, and yes, this is a drag, you have zero likability. You have zero credibility. You're shady, you're scummy, and you're getting away with things now, but it won't last forever. Look at your friend Tati. Lawsuits, cancellation, isolation is coming in your near future. I've been around 13 years. I've seen it happen time and time again, and James, your time will come. Unless you can just get some humility. Be humble.
Trisha Paytas, patron saint of humbling everybody, it seems. Anyway, Trisha telling James Charles to humble himself. I don't know about that because, you know, Trisha, like I said, with everything that she's done, she is the last person to come out and speak about someone else's behaviour. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. Of course, I know there's a lot of people who love Trisha Paytas. I actually don't mind Trisha Paytas myself, but on this one, I think she's really missed the mark. I think she is really in the wrong, and so do a lot of other people on social media. Trisha has done blackface. I'll throw a picture up here so you can see. Trisha has done blackface. She's done so many problematic things that for her to come out and say, okay, I don't believe in cancelling anyone, but I want to cancel James Charles, that is so problematic. Trisha has also used the N-word. Now, in today's standards, we know that is not acceptable. Of course, you've had Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, who are friends with Trisha, who've also used the N-word in the past. So, birds of a feather really do flock together. Come on, I mean, they've all used the N-word. They've all done it. So you can see why James Charles is kind of throwing that bit of shade at them, saying, you guys are the problem, because they are. They're the ones who've acted really irresponsible with their social media platforms. You know, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas, they've all been irresponsible with their platforms. They've all offended people. They've all come off as racist at times. They've all done it. So you can see why James Charles retorted and said, like, oh, you know, you guys are the problem. And then you've got Dixie D'Amelio. Now, Dixie D'Amelio found a clip of Trisha Paytas using the N-word, decided to do a little dance to it, as you do. Here you go.
A young nigga got a bad cause I'm brown and not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. But fuck that shit. The police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got a bad cause I'm brown and not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority.
Dixie later on deleted that clip, but I thought that was funny as fuck because, you know, she's caught Trisha out being like, okay, you know, you want to call us problematic, well, here you go, here's one of the problematic things that you've done, one of the many, you know. So I thought that was good. Dixie was like, no, fuck it, I'm going to stick up for myself. Woo! here we go. And I'm like, yes, you know, she's young, but she's not taking any shit. As it should be. Then who came crawling out of the woodwork but Jeffree Star? Jeffree Star came out to say to people, keep my name out of your mouth. Now this could have been directed at Trisha Paytas, or it could have been directed at James Charles. Honestly, I really think it was directed at James Charles, because he said, if you were my friend but you're not anymore. So I'm thinking he's aiming this at James Charles. Now, I don't know whether Trisha and Jeffree are still friends. The kind of status of their friendship is a little bit up in the air, because on Frenemies podcast, Trisha's been throwing a little bit of shade about Jeffree. So we don't know if they are good or not, but I'm assuming that Jeffree's comment here was for James Charles.
I guess yesterday there was a bunch of drama with other people not involving me, but people still want to mention my name. First of all, I have no idea what happened. I don't give a fuck what happened. I'm too busy worrying about me, myself, my family, and I don't care. I don't entertain it. So if you were friends with me and you're not anymore, keep my fucking name out of your mouth, bitch! Thank you.
What you saw there was absolutely not Jeffree Star inserting himself in the drama once again. Oh no, because in 2019, Jeffree Star made a video called I Am Never Doing This Again. So Jeffree Star is definitely not inserting himself in the drama when people didn't even bring his name up. What we are not gonna do, fuck's sake, Jeffree Star has just involved himself because his baby poo green palette, the Blood Money palette, is not selling. His views are down. His palette's not selling. He's on the way out. So Jeffree Star, seeing his opportunity where Trisha has just popped off at James Charles, Jeffree Star has thought, oh yeah, I'll have some of that too. He's come out this morning, thrown his sunglasses off and got involved. Jeffree bloody Star. For Jeffree and Trisha to be weighing in on this drama that involves the Damelio twins, I think is really sick, because, you know, these people are in their 30s, like me, you know, I'm in my 30s, but honestly, I don't think the Damelio girls did anything wrong. I think that Trisha is trying to stir shit up to get some heat away from Jeffree Star. Think about it, right? You've got all these accusations at the moment flying around about Jeffree Star, like all of the sexual assault allegations that came out in the Insider article and all that kind of thing. So I think Trisha is just jumping on any small thing like she can to try and get the attention away from Shane Dawson, away from Jeffree Star, so that they can still be on social media and kind of be uncancelled, as it were. I think that's what Trisha is doing, because think about it, right? She's spent nearly all day yesterday doing these bloody TikToks aimed at James Charles. It's like she just wants to come for him and come for him and come for him. Like, really, Trisha? You know, you're how old? You're 32 and you're coming at a 21-year-old? What for? What for? There was no reason at all for Trisha Paytas to come at James Charles and call him a predator. She's come out on Twitter, she's called him a predator again after he just went through all that last year with Jeffree Star and bloody Tati Westbrook. I mean, come on, you know. James Charles is not a predator, but these people are hell-bent on making him seem like one. It's really, really sick. It's sad, you know. They need to move on from James Charles. They need to leave James Charles alone. They need to leave the Damelio sisters alone. You know, they need to focus on themselves, do better and be better humans, really. Rather than worrying about trying to drag James Charles down all the time, they need to focus on themselves. They need to think about what they can do on their social media platforms to make people think better of them. Because honestly, everyone knows about the shit that they've done. Everyone can see it. Everyone can find it on Google. The internet is forever. And it's not anyone else's fault that they've done the shitty things that they've done. So it's not for anyone else to be dragged down with them. You know what I mean? They need to take accountability for their own damn actions. And with that, I am going to love you and leave this little video here. I might well be back with another video on this, because there are a lot of reactions, there's a lot of tweets, there's a lot of stuff that's been said. So I might be back soon with another video on this topic. So until then, take care, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.